have had the pleasure for the last decade to hear the heartfelt, soulful melodies from one of the arguably best soul men of his generation. Although primarily known for his music, he has made a few appearances in film and television as well. This Grammy-nominated singer, songwriter, and producer has racked up hits over the years. His journey has been one that has lent him a tremendous amount of experience on the subject of love, life, and family. And today, he has chosen to share some of that wisdom in the hopes to make the journey a little easier for others. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome Mr. Eric Benét to Kings in the Kitchen, where guests will be treated to a five-star serving of commitment, dedication, legacy, and love. Welcome, Mr. Eric Benét.
Thank you very much for that beautiful introduction. I appreciate you.
You are welcome. And we are so grateful that you took the time to be with us. We understand that you are hot off the presses and and into the kitchen just for us.
Yeah, I'm fairly comfortable in the kitchen. This is my friend's kitchen, so I'm not as comfortable in this particular one, but we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right.
Okay. So I like to tell our guests that the food is an excuse to talk to you. So we're going to get to the food. We're going to get to it. Today we're going to be fixing an African-inspired greens dish.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm West African and West Indian, so this is near and dear to my heart. And this dish is one of the dishes I grew up eating. My father would fix for us. And I like to share it because while greens are a part of the African diaspora tradition,
true,
there are some really bad ways of fixing greens. And I wanted to share with you and with our viewers a healthier take on collards and kale. But so how are you doing? How are you doing today?
Well, first of all, I want to say I am so excited that you chose greens to make because most people don't know that Eric Benét knows how to make some greens that'll make you want to slap your mama and your daddy.
Really?
So, yes. So I'm anxious to taste this beautiful African traditional greens dish. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. That's synergy. That's synergy.
Yeah, I like that. Right. What have I been doing? Well, COVID has everybody maneuvering the best possible way that they can through the madness and the mess. I've been able to do some creative things that I've never really had time to do before, which is film production, script writing, and actually a little bit of fashion stuff too. Those have always been interests of mine, so I got a chance to give a little energy towards that.
That is awesome. COVID has unearthed quite a bit in quite a few people.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting. It's either if COVID didn't bring the hustler out of you, ain't nothing going to bring it out. So
That's true. That is true. That is true. So
right.
You are from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yep. But my mother and father are from Mobile, Alabama. So every summer we would go down to Mobile, and I would soak up all that Southern hospitality and family love and the recipes. And so, yeah, I'm born and raised in Milwaukee, but very much my DNA is, infused with everything Southern.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's some extremes going on there, huh?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. That's why I've always been very comfortable on the highway and the dirt road. So it's all good.
So what was it like growing up in these two different, what was Milwaukee like for a young black man in
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah, well, not great. Without taking the conversation too political, Milwaukee is still considered one of the most segregated cities in the country, and probably one of the worst places to raise a black family because of that segregation and racism. But that's kind of systematic all over this country. But in Milwaukee in particular, it was just, I mean, it was my neighborhood was a neighborhood of community, of us looking out for each other. And so I actually had a wonderful childhood. It was just like it was a very, that's the white part of town and this is the black part of town type of situation.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay. And then so when you would go to Mobile,
When I go to Mobile, it was interesting. The racism in Mobile, it's almost like the racism in Milwaukee was a bit more covert. Like, people would never think of themselves as racist, but in Mobile, it was like there was some really, really cool white people, but the white people who were racist had no problem letting you know that they thought you were an inferior human being.
yeah.
So it was like they made sure that you knew where they were standing. So it was, I don't know, it was just a very interesting um, kind of a crash course on human just socialism, social behavior based on your geographical location. It's just kind
Yeah.
of interesting for me.
So are you from a big family?
Yeah, yeah, I'm the baby of six siblings, and mom and dad. My dad was a detective, a police detective for the city of Milwaukee, and my mom stayed home whipping our behinds when she needed to. And I just, I have a very happy memories from my childhood. Just lots of love, lots of overprotecting love,
Hmm.
and lots of great food, lots of great food.
So, so you come from a large family. Was music something that everybody was into? You know,
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
Music was, in my family, music was almost synonymous with love, because whenever we were together, and we were always together, that meant harmony. You know, that meant
Mm.
harmony, both literally and figuratively. Like we would take apart the harmonies of songs and popular songs on the radio, or figure the chords out, and then we would perform them for each other, my siblings and I. And it's just, so music is very much a part of just love for me, and feeling like I'm home, feeling like I'm surrounded and protected when I hear like certain styles and kinds of music. And that's the music that was in my house, and that was everything from rock to jazz fusion to gospel, to R&B, obviously, James Brown, and shoot, Queen, and everything in between. So music is love to me.
So would you say that music chose you? You didn't choose music?
I would say you are 100% correct. I had no say in the matter. Like I was born into a family that music was such a prominent part of um, my father's passion and my mother's passion. And so as a matter of course, their children, my siblings, music was just very much a part of how um, our sustenance of life, really, in our home. And I had no choice being born in that particular family.
So did you have any other career before music, or was you always were headed towards that?
I mean, I went to college for a couple years to kind of satisfy my mom and dad's wishes when clearly I had no idea what I wanted to major in, because I was always either thinking about music or something artistic, whether it was music or fashion, or storytelling, you know. And I just kind of, I don't recommend this to anyone, but I kind of dropped out of college and I joined a band. And that was my college, like being in a band that played everything from weddings to high school proms to you know, dive bars off some highway somewhere where motorcycle gangs go to, and you know, learning how to, you know, really control an audience through your talent, because drunk white people and black people in the middle of nowhere can be very hard to control. I don't know if anybody knows that. And one way to control them is being able to take your talent and, you know, kind of emotionally putting them in the palm of your hand with your voice and your instrument. And there have been many times where, you know, some situations got unruly in a club, and it was the music that helped me get out of there alive. So you know, it was, like I said, it was my college. I dropped out of university and went to the college of learning how to perform, learning how to reach an audience, and learning how to write and produce and arrange songs.
Beautiful, beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's get started with some cooking, because we got to get this in here. And
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So you have all of your stuff in front of you. You have your onions, your garlic.
I do.
Okay, and since you are comfortable in the kitchen, let's get to slicing up these onions. We're just gonna slice them thinly.
Okay. Sometimes I cry when I'm slicing these onions up. Y'all finna see me cry.
Yeah,
isn't there a trick where you put the onions in the freezer first or something, and then you won't cry as much or something like that?
I've heard all these different things. What I personally think is you need to make sure that your knife is very sharp, because if your knife is sharp, you have less of a spray from the onions, and that's what I believe. Yeah. So I make sure that my onions is really sharp.
Okay. Well, I'm chopping these onions.
Yes.
I love that. So we're gonna make a traditional African greens recipe. That's what's up.
Yeah, this is definitely African inspired, because we're using some palm oil. Are you familiar with palm oil?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So we're going to use some palm oil. Now, on the continent, when they fix this dish, there's enough oil, you know, there's probably about 2 to 3 inches of oil on it. We're not doing that. So we are kind of doing an inspired dish. So we've got our onions, and we're going to do our garlic, about 4 cloves of garlic. This dish, we fill it with all kinds of flavor. I talk about building layers of flavor. We're definitely doing
I love that.
With this.
I love it. And you can never put enough garlic.
Never. So we're just going to mince and slice these things and put them all in a bowl on the side, because we're going to stir fry them all together.
Love that.
So let's talk a little bit about fatherhood, since we're talking. This is for the So tell me about your first child. How old were you when you had your first child?
I was, let's see, when I had India, I was like 25 years old. 24. Wow. 24, yeah, I think I was 24. And I was very much a kid. I was very much not ready for it, but feeling scared, feeling blessed, feeling excited, and you know, and so many other emotions all in between that. And some people don't know this about me too, but shortly after India was born, when she was about 14 months old, her mother, my ex-girlfriend, died in a car accident.
Oh my goodness.
And it was, as you could imagine, it was just incredibly horrific and difficult and painful and life-changing in some of the worst ways. But once again, going back to family, if it wasn't for my family there to pick me up off the ground and to help me through this process of learning how to be a single father,
Wow.
I would not have been able to make it. And but fortunately for myself and for my incredible daughter India, I was blessed to have the family that I have, and the mother that I have, the siblings that I have. And right now India is an amazing, talented, beautiful, just incredible young queen, and she's making music. She's being incredibly creative, and she makes music for podcasts, and she makes music for herself, and she just makes me extremely proud.
Wow, that's beautiful. So she definitely followed in the tradition of your love language.
I guess, like me, she didn't really have a choice because she grew up with me as a single dad, so it was just music all around me in all kinds of ways that were similar to how it was when I was a child, but in more ways. Now that her dad was a professional songwriter, singer, musician, so she got a chance to see other aspects of it too.
So you got our celery. Let's do some thin slices of celery.
Oh, celery. I got the celery right here. We're gonna do some thin slices of celery.
One stalk, and just do some thin slices. And the reason we're doing it thin, this is gonna cook very quickly, and we want it to cook evenly. We're gonna make sure that our slices are are thin. So you were already pursuing music when you had your daughter, and
yes,
this tragic incident, this life-changing. How did that affect your pursuit? I mean, some people would have walked away. How did you stay focused? How did you stay motivated during that time?
Well, motivation wasn't a problem. I mean, because as you can imagine, all of a sudden, I'm, my music career is no longer just this obscure dream that I could put some energy into and hope that it would happen. The stakes were much higher now. Now it's not just my life, but the life of somebody who I love even more than myself. So it became very much I am going to make this happen by hook or by crook. So I think my intensity, my focus, my how calculating I was with making all these dreams come true became a lot more intense.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, let's get our bell peppers.
Oh, bell pepper. So we're just going to do one stalk of the celery?
Just one stalk. Just one stalk.
You got it. Okay.
If you want to do more, go for it.
I'm following your lead. So, okay. So are we going to do like one bell pepper, or are we going to do
like a quarter? We're going to do like a quarter of the bell pepper, and we're just going to cut thin strips.
Should I put the bell pepper, the celery I just chopped up in the same bowl with the onions that are waiting over here?
Those veggies are going to go in the same bowl. We're going to stir fry them quick.
Great.
So
I think I need a bigger bowl.
A full recipe, we would use a full bell pepper, but since we're doing an abbreviated, we're not going to do all that.
Okay. So you said a quarter of a bell pepper, huh?
Yeah, just a quarter. Just cut off the side of it, and then just thinly slice it, and then drop it in that.
Got it. I hear you. I'm with it. So how long you been cooking?
I have been cooking now professionally for 12 years.
What made you, because you know, we all know a lot of people who cook and who claim they can throw down in the kitchen. What made you say, wait, I'm not just good, I need to start my own thing? What was that revelation for you?
The way people responded.
Yeah, I hear that.
Respond when I cook. That was the affirmation. I grew up in a home full of cooks, and there were no slouches. So when those people make comments about your ability to cook,
right,
that was motivation for me. And then there were some health concerns as well. I grew up in a home where my mom was a diabetic, and a lot
I see.
in my orbit were dying because of their food habits. And
I got you.
I wanted to be able to contribute to my family and my community at large, reinterpret things in a healthier way. Yeah.
Well,
okay,
good for you.
So all the veggies, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take our collards and our kale.
Yep, collards and the kale.
Collards and kale. Are your collards and kale? Okay, good. So what I like to do, you have your kale. What I like to do is I cut off the bottom.
Yeah. Let me see what you got going on there. Okay. Cut off the bottom. Right.
Stack them one on top of another.
Got it.
And then
we can do that.
Let's stack them.
Yep.
One on top of the other.
Okay. I'm with it.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
Okay. So, there is a flip side to success and being a celebrity and all of that. And people can be really vicious. People can be really vicious. People talk about these people that have keyboard courage. They say things from behind the keyboard they would never dare to say in your face. Yeah. But so success has, the flip side of success is the rumor mill.
Yeah.
And you have been through some trying times. How did you shield your family from the press and the verbal assaults from the media and all of that?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, I just feel like you have to learn quickly and with as much grace as you possibly can that the opinions of other people don't matter to you. And it's interesting because people will have such emphatic opinions about your life as if they got cameras in your house and they know every aspect of you and what you should do and what you should say. And I don't know. I think at some point you just have to realize that when I decided to become, a public figure, the sooner you realize that my life to people who are looking from the outside in is just entertainment for me. I mean, it's just entertainment for them. Right. So if I get into any kind of trouble, whether it's a car accident or whether it's I'm going through bankruptcy or whether I'm going through some personal tragedy, to most people that as sad as it is, that's just entertainment to them. Yeah. So they've taken the humanity out of it. So I think it's, as soon as, for all those young and up and coming celebrities out there right now, as soon as you understand that fact, the longer you will be able to hang on to your sanity. Because if your happiness dictated by the opinions of other people, then you are going to have a very unhappy life.
Yeah.
So I've been blessed to be raised in a family where certain truths like that and certain things that are a given were things that have been instilled in me from day one and been instilled in my siblings from day one. So, you know, when the ish hit the fan personally for me, that's when my family just became even my stronger rock, right? And so I had all the support in the world, and you know, I walked that road with as much. I took ownership for the things that I did wrong, and for the things that I couldn't change, I just had to like let it go.
Right.
And that's all you can do.
Yeah. 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 Well, thank you for that. Those are words to live by. Now that you've got your kale stacked, we're gonna.
So,
what I like to do is you're cutting off you're cutting off the roots now.
I cut that off. You want me to just kind of like chop it up?
What we're gonna do, I roll it like almost like a cylinder.
I see what you're saying.
So we're gonna cut small strips, like ribbons of kale, basically.
I got it. I love it. My battery in my earbuds sound like they're gonna die, but you know, we'll work it out. All right. Let's chop up this kale. Let's see what's happening. Small ribbons. Ribbons of kale.
Yep.
I see what you're saying.
After you finish doing that, then we're gonna run the knife right down the center and cut it again.
Okay.
So after you've done those ribbons, then we're gonna go horizontal and cut right down the center.
I heard that. Slice him down the middle.
Down the middle. And then we're gonna do the same exact thing with our collards.
Love it. And I'm gonna put this aside in a big bowl or something?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And then once we do our collards, then we're ready to.
Do you have like a really super big bowl I can put the greens in? Just to. Yeah. Okay. All right. My friend is helping me out in the kitchen.
Thanks, friend.
They said, thanks, friend. All right. Right. Oh, that's a nice bowl. Okay.
So Eric, you are a father of girls.
I am.
That is even more of a special calling.
It's poetic justice. That's what it is.
So what are your daughter's ages?
So my daughter, India, is 29. Mm-hmm. My daughter, Lucia, is 9.
Oh, wow.
And my daughter, Luna, is 6.
Oh, wow. You got a big stretch there.
I got a lot going on.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you have a big family?
I do not. Well, I grew up with one brother. I had 2 half brothers that were in Africa until I was like in high school. Mm-hmm. And I do not have any children of my own. I got married later to the love of my life.
Love it.
The thing about that is that we would have met earlier to have kids, but he's amazing, so I'm happy.
Hey, happiness is what it's all about.
Our collards done?
Yeah, I got the collards and the kale chopped up and ready to let something happen to them. Haven't done anything to the garlic yet.
Okay, just smash them and just slice it up.
Got it. That's what I thought you was gonna say.
And then we're just gonna get our pan going with our heat and a little bit of our oil. What type of oil are you using today?
I do believe I'm gonna just use my straight up olive oil.
Okay, that's fine.
That's what I'm did.
So I have some olive oil in my pan, but I also have a little bit of palm oil that I'm going to
Well,
use.
you just had to be African with your situation.
Try to get some of that flavor in there.
I'm gonna be a little Italian with my Africanness.
Okay.
It's an olive oil.
This is interesting. We have had a few different fathers on, but you are you are the second father who in an instant became a single father.
Yeah.
And then had to just figure it out. And you're the second one who still pursued his dream.
Right.
But that shows in a sense your knowing of your calling.
Yeah, I just knew, like, I don't know if it was a premonition or just instinctual. I just knew I would be the best provider if I was able to utilize these gifts that I knew that I had, as opposed to me just punching a clock somewhere or working for somebody else. I just knew that India's future would be brighter if I knew that my gifts were being utilized. So you're right. It was paramount to me to just make it happen. And it was interesting thinking back to that time. I didn't know exactly how it was going to happen. Obviously, I just knew that it would. I just knew that with persistence and keeping my ears open and keeping my eyes open and paying attention, I'd figure I would figure it out. Hang on, let me get a pan.
Yeah, because we're getting ready to stir it up. But you know, that's what you did in doing that. You taught your daughter to be true to herself.
That is true. I can hear you. I'm going through some. I don't know if you guys can see me, but I'm digging out stuff.
Okay. You taught your daughter to be true to herself, and that is a great lesson.
Yes. 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 I found a nice pan. I hope it's big enough.
Let's get these going on under it.
Get the olives going.
Yep, get the olive oil in that pan. Because I want to get a few questions from the audience, and we're getting close for time here.
Okay. Put some olive oil in this pan. About to hook this up, African style.
You know, something else you could add to these greens is minced ginger.
That sounds good.
To add.
I'm gonna put these garlic
in. Yep.
In there. All right. Let me see. How do I turn on her fan? I'm trying to figure out how to do this fan, man. Uh-oh. This whole house finna smell like garlic and greens because I can't figure out how to turn on the fan.
That's one of the best smells.
That's true. It's a good thing. Oh, I think I got it. There we go. Whoa, that's too much. There we go. We good.
Okay.
We are good.
So once that oil gets hot, you're going to drop your veggies in there and just toss them around a little bit until they start to get translucent and, you know, glisten.
Drop them all in, or want any in particular first, or just like
drop them all in at the same time.
All right. Drop them in there.
So that not the greens yet, just your veggies, your onions, your garlic. Okay.
See, look at me. I was about to mess up and you caught me. All right, here we go. So throw them in there?
Yep, throw them in that hot oil.
Woo!
And just toss them about so they don't stick, because of course we don't want our garlic to burn.
Indeed, indeed. Smells good.
Already.
Smells good already. All right. When do you start throwing the salt And
We are going to put them in right now. Let's put those
I
greens
heard
in
that.
right now.
Put the greens in?
Put the greens in right now. Yep.
All right.
Just going to rest them right on top of those veggies. And we're going to just carefully like combine the bell peppers and onions with the greens. So just carefully, like, you know, go underneath and
Yeah.
lift the bottom. What you're trying to do is to get the greens to wilt a little bit.
Indeed. Indeed, indeed. Love it.
That's interesting what you were saying about your life is entertainment. And I've been fortunate to work with a few celebrities, and I have seen that. I've seen that you know, your humanity is something that is it's irrelevant to people.
Very true. Very unfortunate. It's just like, let me clown this person while they're going through this tragedy.
Yeah.
You know, but you know,
Celebrity
you
is
gotta
not.
you gotta have tough skin. That's for sure.
Yeah. So now, once you've tossed it a bit and you see that it's starting to wilt,
Mm-hmm.
what you're going to do here is you can either use some like low sodium vegetable broth or a little bit of water. And I would say about 2 tablespoons to 3 tablespoons worth.
I didn't hear the second thing. You said low sodium vegetable broth or what?
Or water.
Oh, or water. Okay.
About 2 to 3 tablespoons worth. You're going to put it in that pan, pour it over the greens, and you're going to put the lid on top of your greens.
Got it.
Because what we're doing is we're going to steam these greens.
That makes sense. Steam them greens.
We're going to steam the greens. And we're going to leave it for, I would say, up to 5 minutes, but I like to check it to make sure that it's not burning or anything. But it shouldn't, because
Gotcha.
liquid in there that's going to steam. It's just going to turn a beautiful, bright green color.
Dig it. Dig it, dig it, dig it.
So, you know, one of the things that I have said often, I spoke to you just earlier about my husband. One of the things that I say is that because of my brother and my father, I was able to make a great choice in my husband. So I'm asking you, when it comes to dating, let's talk about India, your oldest daughter, India. What are the qualities you instilled in her that would help her determine the best person for her?
Well, India has been with someone and living with someone for the past few years, so she got a good guy. Okay. The road to getting a good guy wasn't smooth, but I think I don't know. I just think as a parent, I think the best way to teach is by example, right? You you know, you treat your child with the utmost respect and the utmost love and the utmost, like, what every word she says matters to me, how she feels matters to me, and her happiness and her safety matter more than anything to me. And I think when you're constantly reinforcing that as the father, then I think it's only natural that when she goes out to look for a mate, she's going to look for a lot of those qualities in the person.
Mm-hmm. Great answer. That's I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah. Because you often hear women, you know, she married her father, she married her. And I never really understood that, but because my husband is not like my dad, but he is consistent like my father. I mean, there are character things that are the same. There are other things that are completely different, but when it comes to the meat of the matter, there are
Yes.
those similarities. Yeah.
True.
So I want to see, does our audience have any questions for Mr. Benét? Because we're about to wrap this up. You can go on over and check your greens. They should be
Let me go check my greens.
check the greens. They should be just about ready.
Oh, they look beautiful.
Nice and bright. At this point, I'm gonna take my smoked paprika and I'm gonna.
And you didn't put any salt in it yet, huh?
Excuse me?
You didn't
No.
put any salt in it yet. Okay.
No.
Let's take the smoked paprika.
Yeah, what we do with our salt is we use our salt as like, for me, it's like the finishing touch. It's not an integral part of the dish. It's
Yeah, I need to learn from you.
Yeah. Okay, one question. You're lucky, Michael. Michael, what is your question?
Yeah, Mr. Benét, I just wanted to ask you, being that you are a single father and an international entertainer, what system did you use to maintain balance in both roles?
That is, Michael, that is an awesome question. And as you could imagine, there's no instruction manual for that. That was one of those things where, okay, this is my job and this is my child. My child is the most important thing to me, but unless I go out here and get this bread, we're not gonna have the life that I know that we can have. So that was just, Michael, that was another situation where I was blessed and fortunate to have the family that I have, the mother that I had. I lost my mother 3 years ago, but my siblings and my mother were there for me because I knew, look, I may have to, hey, daddy's got to get on a plane to Japan. I'll be back in 2 weeks. But when I'm back, I am completely focused on my child. I'm completely present while I'm with her, because I know in 3 weeks from now, you know, I may have to jet off again for another couple of weeks. So it's just a matter of, I guess if there is a balance, that's it. When I'm working, I put everything I can into my work while I'm checking back at home to make sure everything is cool. But I know everything is cool because my daughter is with my mom and my siblings. So that's not stressing me out on work. And then when I come back home, it's all about focusing on my child. So, I mean, I hope that answers the question.
Great answer. Great answer. I wish we had more time.
How much of that smoked paprika did you put in there? I put one little sprinkle, but I think you probably did some more.
I did a teaspoon.
Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more.
Okay, and then
there we go.
It should be done because these greens are al dente. They're vibrant. They still have a little bit of texture to them.
Yeah.
And so what I do is I put it in a bowl. I will sprinkle a little top of them.
Got it.
Go.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It smells great. It looks so healthy because the green is so vibrant. And like you said, it's not overcooked. So all the nutrients are definitely still popping.
Yes. Yes.
And that's awesome.
Well, Mr. Benét, thank you so much for carving out time. I know that this was close for you, and we appreciate you doing so. Thank you for the tidbits you gave us on fathering, sharing a little bit of your backstory with us for those who didn't know that Mr. Benét, you're a survivor. You're a survivor. Life came at you hard, and you made it through, and you stayed true to yourself, which I think is so important for Black men to know and to embrace and to feel that they can be true to themselves in a world that is wanting them to lessen themselves.
Hello.
Yeah. You stand for being all that you can. It's something that I always speak about is the pursuit of excellence, the pursuit of being all that you were created to be.
Yes.
Everything that you were created to be. And we live in a world where mediocrity is celebrated, and we are not a mediocre people.
You
That's not
preaching
who we
now.
are.
You
So,
telling some truth right now.
and we're talking about kings in the kitchen. You gentlemen are kings. Never forget it. Our history did not
Wow.
begin on the shores.
Thank you for that. Thank you for those words.
Yeah. No, you're welcome. You're welcome. So we are so grateful for you spending time with us today. I wish we had more time. Maybe we can get you back at a later date. We'll see.
Yeah, we can do that. We can work that out.
We'll work on something else. We'll work on something else. But to our audience, thank you for joining us as well. Monarch Magazine, we are striving to make a difference in the community, to highlight Black men and the difference that they're making, Black men in different areas of industry. And Mr. Benét as a singer, songwriter, producer, actor, all of these amazing things. We thank you.
Thank you so much. And it's been a pleasure.
Have a great evening. Bye-bye. Hello, this is Chef Cynthia Pean. I would like to take a moment and share the importance of this campaign and thank our partner, Procter & Gamble, for joining us in an endeavor to remove negative stereotypes surrounding Black men. We encourage all of you to check out the short film These Hands from Procter & Gamble and Uninterrupted that shows the journey of a father and his son using the power of imagination to explore a range of opportunities beyond athletics. You can watch it here now.
Nice. You did the two things we always talk about. What's that? You worked hard and you...
Have fun.
Have fun, my man.
It's a real star you got there.
Thanks.
Take care of those hands. They're taking you places.
I got hands. I'm gonna go pro.
You definitely could.
Easy money.
Easy money. Have you ever thought about what else you could be? Go along, son. You could be a brain surgeon. Your hands could operate as skillfully as Dr. Myron Rowe. Or a sports agent, handling big contracts, like Rich Paul. What about an artist? You can be as creative as Brian Blue the Great. The art you make could inspire the world. Son, you can even be an astronaut, flying in space with Leland D. Melvin. Sure, with those hands, you could play for a team, but you could buy a team. Ownership. Get to wear the rings first.
I can do all that, Dad?
You can be anything you want with these hands.